Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So if you watched my recent Christmas haul video, you'll notice that I picked up Jurassic World on Blu-ray. At last, you say, Jurassic Collectibles has bought Jurassic World. Yes, I've got the 3D version. It cost me £8 on eBay. It was pre-owned, but I didn't mind because I just wanted to re-review this for you guys. A lot of you have been messaging me on Twitter and Facebook saying, please watch the film again and tell us your thoughts now that you've seen it a second time. So I've watched this film a second time, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the film. As you can see, this version, the 3D version, has a really nice holographic cover. You can see the motorcycle tire is turning there, and also the background is shooting by as I tilt the cover. Really, really nice artwork there. On the back, got a nice image of the T-Rex facing off with the Indominus Rex. No mention of special features, and that's quite important. On the side here, again, we just got a 12 rating and a little image of Owen. On this side, we've got the Jurassic World 3D logo, 12 rating, and again, a little image of Owen. And then if we pull this out of the cover, we've got the same artwork repeated, but just with no holographic finish. And same artwork again. Here we've got the ultraviolet sleeve that allows you to watch a copy of the film online streaming. There wasn't a download option for me. And here is the disc. Now, when I put this into my Blu-ray player, unfortunately, there's no special features. And I don't know what's going on there. I know there is a Jurassic World documentary, a making of, but this is completely free of any special features. And for a 3D release, which you usually pay a little bit more for, I'd expect them to include some kind of special features. So that was a little bit disappointing. But anyway, on with the review of the film itself. Now, before I start this review, it has to be said that there's only so much I can put into this video, and actually I'm going to have a follow-up video where I dissect the film with a special guest, and we're going to discuss the film in more detail, just to go over some points and maybe bring up some points that I didn't notice. But today I'm just going to give you my thoughts on my second watch of Jurassic World in 3D. So I'm going to start off with the positives of this film, because I feel like I've been quite negative about the film, and there's a lot of fans, there's a lot of you out there who enjoyed the film. So I'm going to tell you what I liked about the film first of all. So the main thing for me was the soundtrack. There are some really great themes in this movie, and Michael Giacchino did a great job. Not all of them did it for me. The opening is quite upbeat and a little bit tame, but most of the ones used on the island were a really nice tribute to Jurassic Park. And they feel a little bit like they improved on the score a little bit. They reminded me of the Lost World game soundtrack, which actually Michael Giacchino composed as well. So it's very fitting that he did the soundtrack for Jurassic World. So I really love the score. So good work by Michael Giacchino. And the other thing that really worked about the score was the reuse of John Williams' theme, especially in combination with some nice imagery. So the monorail going through the Jurassic World gates and the jungle rushing by, for me, was really, really cool, and I really enjoyed those shots. Also seeing the Gallimimus herd on the run, that was really, really nice. It felt really nostalgic to see those Gallimimus out running on the plains again, so I really enjoyed those shots. Also, some parts of the visit to the old visitor centre with the theme played over the top just really made me sort of whoosh back to the time when I watched Jurassic Park, and those were nice little touches. I also thought the introduction to the Indominus Rex and its escape were handled really, really well. I felt it was really threatening, and I got really into the movie at this point. Also, the scenes with the dialogue between Claire and Mr. Masrani and Claire and Owen, I felt were very effective, and these were some of the best scenes in the film for me. Also, the T.rex breakout, what an amazing scene. I mean, you can't argue that that is just a really well constructed scene and very tense. So I did enjoy those scenes with the T.rex. The other scene with the T.rex that I thought worked really well was the mosasaur bursting out of the water and grabbing it and pulling it down under the water. This was a perfect nod to the original Jurassic Park, as it replicated the scene where the T.rex grabs the raptors. So I thought that was a nice nod, and that part of that scene I thought was really well done. Also, someone who's probably often overlooked is Barry, a really cautious character who felt genuine and consistent with the Jurassic Park trilogy. Shots with him in the log being attacked by the raptor felt more like the original trilogy than the shots that surrounded it, and I think he was sort of underplayed quite well. I would have liked to have seen more of Barry, but actually his role in the film felt like the right amount for a Jurassic Park film. So those are the things I really enjoyed in Jurassic World. So now I'm going to tell you what I didn't like about Jurassic World. So first off, the tone of Jurassic World feels off for me. It's quite a light-hearted film, and it feels quite akin to a Disney live-action film. There are elements of horror, but these are overtaken by light humour, romance, a lot of daylight, and a severe lack of rain and dirt, something we see a lot of in the other movies. And many have compared Jurassic World to feeling like the Goonies or other 80s movies, and I can see that. I'd agree with it, because the film feels less like the clinical techno thriller of the 90s that Jurassic Park was, and feels more like an adventure Disney film. That's the only way I can describe it. One of the other things that I felt needed more work was the development of the characters. Claire.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
Hoskins.
We're on the same side, right?
Henry Wu.
Oh, Indominus wasn't bred. She was designed.
Zara and the ACU team are probably the most exaggerated characters in Jurassic World, to the point where I actually think they would suit an animated movie. I actually think Jurassic World would work really well as an animated spin-off, much like the Clone Wars. Some of the characters are pushed so far into being the villain, the scientist, the materialist, the uncaring workaholic, and the military grunt, that they do really feel like cartoon characters, even down to their costume design. And for me, this makes them feel out of place in a science fiction franchise as serious as Jurassic Park. Another thing that kind of took me out of the feeling of Jurassic Park was the structure of the opening of this film. Instead of being introduced to Owen and Claire, the protagonists at the start, we in fact meet the children, who are the damsels in distress. There's no proposal why Owen and Claire need to go to the island, so there's no problem to fix. The initial introduction to me is key because we latch on to those characters, the children in this case, as the leads. So then when we meet Owen and Claire, who are the real leads, we feel less for them. I feel like this is quite important that we meet the lead characters at the beginning. There's also no incident at the start. There's no deaths or dinosaur attack. We're simply left with this enigmatic image of the Indominus Rex as a hatchling, and I felt like something could have happened there. Maybe the Indominus Rex could have eaten its sibling in hatchling form. Something really simple like that just would have recreated that feeling of an incident. Also, the awe and wonder shot when we arrive at the island comes very quick and contains no dinosaurs. Now, in all the other films in the trilogy, we see a dinosaur in this opening shot. You arrive on the island, then you see a dinosaur. It basically grounds you in the world of Jurassic Park. And the lack of this dinosaur with the John Williams theme really is a key device that is missing from this film. Whatever you think, whether you enjoy that scene or not, you can't deny that there is something lacking by not having a dinosaur in that shot. Not even one, not even the neck of a dinosaur craning over those landscapes. It's just something about it. It just doesn't feel Jurassic Park like. Now, this next point comes from a friend of mine who really enjoyed Jurassic World and is a big fan of the Jurassic Park franchise like myself. And he said Jurassic World was really shiny. And it was an interesting point. It's a very shiny sci-fi theme park. There's a lot of brushed metal, chrome, glass, and blue light, and these are devices that are used in a lot of stereotypical science fiction movies. And part of the gracefulness of the original Jurassic Park is that it avoided these stereotypes by adopting an African tribal safari feel. There were elements of science fiction and chrome, but they tried to minimize these and focus on this sort of tribal dark theme. The lack of shiny metal in the majority of the park gave over to this gritty ruthlessness of the natural world, and I felt that that was lacking somewhat in this very commercialized, shiny Jurassic World. And my last point is another one that was raised by my friend, and I had to agree with him. There were no returning lead cast members, and I'm talking mainly about Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill. Even Julianne Moore and Laura Dern would have been a nice touch. But after watching The Force Awakens, the power of bringing back these key characters is instrumental in creating the feeling of the original trilogy. There's something alien about a majority of new characters that imitate roles of characters in the earlier movies. A bit like those old straight-to-video films where they couldn't afford the original cast, so you used to just get like fill-in cast members who essentially played the same roles as the main characters from the first film. That's the kind of feeling that I'm left with here. And I think it would have been really cool if they had someone like Jeff Goldblum just come in and then been eaten by the Indominus Rex. I mean, imagine the gravity of the situation when you realise that one of the key characters from the franchise has just died in Jurassic World. I think that could have been really, really cool. So there we have it, guys. That was my thoughts on Jurassic World after watching it a second time. I hope I haven't offended any of you with my thoughts and feelings. I've tried to be as clear as possible and sort of show my reasoning behind the reasons why I'm not so fond of Jurassic World. But I definitely feel that Jurassic Park 3 is more consistent with the rest of the franchise, and I think that's the main problem I have with this film, is its consistency. It's a very different film. It feels almost like a separate science fiction movie. And it definitely employs a lot of sort of stereotypical science fiction devices that aren't used artistically in the other franchise. So, you know, that's probably my main reason for feeling like I'm not watching a Jurassic Park movie. Like I said, I don't hate this movie. You know, I can sit down and watch it. Probably if it was on TV on a Saturday, I'd probably sit down in the middle of it and carry on watching it. But I still don't feel like it fits in with the rest of the Jurassic Park franchise. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do stay tuned for the dissection conversation with a special guest where we'll go more in depth into Jurassic World after watching this a second time. And in the meantime guys, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.